Hello everyone, I'm Nuno the Second and today I'm here to make a tutorial video about how to make liveries for Ultimate Racing 2D2 in Paint.net. Now the main reason why I use Paint.net is because it's free and also very used, and it's also a program that I've been using for quite a while, so I pretty much got some experience with it, and I got some knowledge about it, I guess. But yeah, there are also some other programs like Photoshop or maybe Illustrator that are obviously paid and expensive programs. But there's also GIMP, which is free, and any other programs out there that I maybe not really know about. But yeah, Paint.net is just one of them that it's free and very easy to use as well. Especially compared to GIMP, I think Paint.net is much easier. And for this game, I think it works. It might have some limitations, but I think for this game, to make liveries for this game, I think it's more than enough. And so yeah, the first thing you need to do to make the liveries is to get the templates first. And this is why I make this right here, this PDN file. It's a file from the Paint.net, which then you should install it and then also open it on Paint.net. And then Paint.net is also very easy to get. I think they have like a website and you can easily download the program. And yeah, either way, if you open that's PDN file you saw right there on Discord, you get something like this. Basically, this file with two different layers, one for the card base and the other for the main color. But if for some reason there is no template like this or any file like this, then you should get it. You can get it from the game, but that is of course if there's if there's a car or if there's any mod with in the game. So yeah, let's say for this case we want to do a livery for UL. You just go here on the where it says from esports 2, then you click E, then create new class. Then after this loads, you can go to here where it says change sprites, and for some reason for me it doesn't appear right here, and it's not appear at the bottom. So there you go, should open right here, and this should take you to a folder somewhere in the game files, which is gonna take you to the car class files, to all of the images right here. We got all of the liveries, we got the paint parts and all that stuff, but in the end what you need is these two images right here. It's the card base and the main color, and so you just copy these two images and you're gonna put it somewhere else you feel like it. So yes, so then you need to open them on Paint.net, and then you should get these two images right here. And then what you need to do is to just go to one of the images, maybe this one right here with the main color. Then you create a new layer right here. It says add new layer, and you create it, and then you go with the good old Control C, Control V thing. You're just gonna select the entire thing using this tool with the rectangle select shortcuts. So you click Control C, and then you go here and you click Control V. And then you have right here the two images that we have right here as well. But yeah, now we've just taken a few extra steps. Either way, we can name the layers if we want. We can go where it says properties, right at the bottom right, and then we go here where it says layer, where it says layer 2 for the name. So we go to base. Card base, I mean. So there you go, card base for this one. Then let's name this one main color. So there you go, we got the two layers right here. Now the reason why you want to have this the card base on the top is because it has all of the pixels that you don't want to paint. There is of course if you don't have any metal issues, because yeah, there are some people who for some reason like to paint the floor with a certain color or the suspensions, and yes, I'm looking at you, Goose. But yeah, either way, we got the car base on the top and then this one on the bottom. If we switch them up, it's basically the same, but I think it's better to have the car base on the top because it makes it much easier to not get you worried about not painting like these pixels right here. So yeah, then the next thing you need to do is to create a new layer, and then you're gonna change the mode. You see the blend mode here, usually it's always on normal, which just paints things normally, and if this layer is on the top of the other, it's gonna paint things on the top of the other layer. It's not gonna paint on the bottom layer itself, but it's gonna be, you're not gonna see everything that's beside it. But here what you need to do is to change the blending mode, and it's gonna be on overlay, where it says right here, and you just click on overlay, then OK. And yeah, basically what this does is to paint, it's kind of just paints things, and you can see the shading as well. It's really cool. You can see right here, let's paint this in yellow, and it sort of just paints things right here. And yeah, because the main problem that I usually have, this is one of the reasons why I'm also making this this video, is because I see a lot of times people like making liveries where they just sort of paint the entire thing. Maybe you can use this, and they'll like paint everything like on the top of the template itself, and all of the shading gets lost, and it gets really like weird. Obviously they're not painting in a way that I painting right here. They always have their own logic, they make their own shapes and stuff, but in the end they like all of the shading and stuff gets completely lost, and they have all of this very pixelated thing, which I also don't really like right now. And so we get some abominations like the SCP car or the Flow Force car from last season, for example. And yeah, I'm really sorry to offend the people who make those cars, but yeah, I just want to use those for an example, because yeah, those are, now I found those two cars in particular very weird. But yeah, either way, we go to this layer, and there's one way of quickly do things. Let's say I want to paint this car white, because that's the first thing we need to do, is to, or if you want, is to paint the entire car with the same color, like the color you want to use as the main one, let's say. And one of the ways to do it, it's a very quick way of doing it, it's to paint the entire thing, this entire layer in white, and then you go to this layer on the bottom, and you're just going to use this magic wand shortcut key, and not shortcut key, yeah, it's just the magic wand here to select all of the pixels that are transparent on this layer. And we change the tolerance, you can change it to 0 to make sure it's only the pixels that are totally transparent. And so we just do this, and then we go to where this the cut, and we cut. And it's not cutting because I made a mistake, which is cutting on the main color layer, so it didn't know anything. So we can just go back, then select this layer right here, and then we cut. And there you go, everything, all of the layers are sort of invisible, and it makes things very fast. But I usually have problems with this because as you can see right here, there are some additional like pixels right here that kind of doesn't look that well. So this is why I make things in a different way. But if you want to do it like this, you can sort of just go here and maybe delete some of the parts. But for me personally, I don't like it, and it doesn't work that well. So we can use it in a different way. Like, I guess this kind of works as well if you want to just delete it right here and delete some of these pixels right here, but I usually do it in a different way. So I just go back a little bit. And so the way I do it is to select this line curve feature, and then going to the form of the car or the shape of it, and just go around like and contour it basically using this line. Because this cool thing about these lines is that first it makes this sort of straight line, and then you have these 4 dots to adjust it right next. So yeah, it makes lines like this, something like this right here. Right now it's not painting too much, but doesn't matter, in the end it will. And let's do something like this right here. just this like this, and yeah, I just do this as fast as I can, so you don't need to be watching this. It's a very boring part, of course, but if you want to do it in the other way, you can. If you feel like you can sort of delete the extra parts well, then you can do it, so you don't need to take this much time just to paint the entire car. But yeah, just gonna make it this way. It's usually the way I make it, and it works for me. But yeah, this is just to give you options, basically, how you can make things in different ways. And something like this entire thing, just painting at least half of the car, so it takes much less time, and because in the end you can always mirror the things in the end. So yeah, you can make this like this. Maybe you can paint the front wing as well. It's the second time I'm actually recording this, and on the first time I didn't paint the entire thing. And yeah, I'm making this for a second time because I noticed there are certain things missing that I would like to talk about, and I just forgot. But either way, we can just, hopefully I can do that this time. And there are certain mistakes that I did in the video that could make things more confusing, like some of the parts that I'm going to explain next. But yeah, we have all of this surrounding area, and then you can use the paint buckets to just paint everything around here, and we can also increase the tolerance. This is something very crucial as well, and we just sort of paint everything right here. Now, to make sure that all of the area right here before using the bucket, it's totally covered, because if it's not, let's just delete some of this, for example, because if it's not, as soon as you use the bucket, it's going to paint the entire thing. And so if the area is not closed, it's going to paint everything. It's just gonna go all over the place. So you just need to sort of like close all of the doors, let's say. So we're gonna paint this right here, and then there's another way to mess up things. It's switch the tolerance. If the tolerance is too high, it's gonna select too many pixels, and it's gonna go all over the place as well. So that's another thing you need to be careful. So right now with 50% it works well. Sometimes it might be too less, and it's not going to paint a lot of the things you can see, like almost some of the pixels are missing right here, and so let's use just 50%. Right now it's working well, and so sometimes you might need to adjust this, and yeah, then you can sort of just paint or adjust some of the pixels. Sometimes you can actually take this one, for example, right here is kind of useful. And you kind of want to paint everything right here. This is why this is a good reason to then have the car base on the top, so you don't need to worry about contouring everything right here. You can just paint right this, and you can paint right here, and it doesn't show up. So it saves you a lot of trouble and some time as well. So yeah, here you can also change another thing, which I'll then show you what this means or what this does. But right now, it's just going to use the anti-alias thing. And yeah, let's do something like this. Just paint everything right here and around until we see the black parts, and got something like this, and I think it's looking good. Maybe this right here as well, and maybe it's looking fine. There we go. I think it's looking fine. So I can show up this layer. And there you go, we get at least half of the car white. But now let's make the entire car white. And now what we need to do is to select these pixels right here, this upper part. And then you're gonna once again use the good old Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V thing, which then is gonna copy all of the pixels right here that we just selected. And now they're gonna be on the top of each other, as you can see right here. It's sort of what it does. And so yeah, then you're gonna use this right here and then pull it all the way down to the bottom of the canvas. Make sure that the border here of the selection is aligned with the border of the canvas, and then we need to pull this just a little bit up. And the reason for this is because how can I explain this? Basically, the width of the car is it's an odd number, it's uneven, and to make this mirror completely equal, you need to make sure that this rectangle is exactly the same as it was when we first selected. It's like before we pull it, like this. The size of this rectangle needs to be exactly the same as the one we have in the end. And to do that, we need to have this file of pixels on the center to be basically common between these two rectangles. So that's just a little detail which is very important, because if we don't do that, it's going to be a little bit messed up. Like the two rectangles are not on the same sizes, so we're not totally mirroring things in the right way. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I need to pull it up, and that's because it's the width. It's an odd number, but if it was a paired number, then we wouldn't need to do that. So yeah, that's it. When you're doing something like this rectangle in the end needs to be the exact same size as the rectangle that we had up here before we changed things. So yeah, so we got right here the car white is the color that you want to use, like for the main color, let's say. So now let's do some random things right here. We can use the red color, and I don't know, this red for me looks a little bit boring, so let's just change it here. We can change maybe some colors, maybe some magenta. Let's maybe try it, why not? And yeah, you can see we can use more and less. And for some reason, let's say I don't know, you kind of just click X and then you no longer see this. It's not really a big issue, we can just get it back from here. And also here you can take all of these tools here, and makes things much easier, like you can take all of the layers. So, and yeah, just saying this because in the past I sort of got panic when I couldn't see this, and I was, oh my god, where are I gonna get the colors and stuff? But yeah, everything we have here, you have it here as well, and it's just easier. So either way, then create some shapes. First thing you want to do as well is to create a different layer. Sometimes it's very useful as well. You can like if you're doing things here and you're messing it up, you can just then delete the layer and then start again as well. So okay, let's make some weird shapes. I'm going to use the line feature right here, and this is where this tool kind of becomes important as well, is that we have the alias rendering, which what it makes is that it paints every single thing, every single pixel, like pixel by pixel, and it paints it entirely like this. While if you change it to anti-alias rendering, it makes this sort of blanking effect, and all of the pixels on the borders are like a little bit transparent, basically. Like this thing, as you can see right here, it gets a little bit transparent. So yeah, this is basically what the anti-alias thing does. And I sort of just want to, there you go, just this thing right here, and let's just make some random form. I really don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just improvising right now. So let's make something like this, maybe like this. Let's just paint this, maybe something like this, and then let's, I don't know, just make something like this, and you get a little bit of a horn. I don't know exactly what this is, but yeah, then in the end we can use the paint buckets, and there we go, got some shapes here. Then let's use another color. Maybe for this one we might not need to, I don't know, to use another layer, but maybe let's do another one just for the sake of it, because we might need it to delete it, we don't know. And let's use black maybe. And usually the thing that I have with black is that usually it's very dark, so as you can see right here, I just changed it, it's now totally black. But the problem that I have with that is that like it's so dark that you cannot see any of the shading, and you cannot see any of the volume. So everything that's it's in black, it gets like it's a complete void, like it, and I don't really like it. So one thing you can do, or I would recommend, is to make that black a little bit lighter, and so it sort of becomes this kind of very dark gray color, and I think it should look much better, and you can see the shading and stuff in the end. So yeah, let's just do some stuff here with black. And let's do something like this. Maybe we can increase the brush size, which will basically increase, in this case, the size of the line here, right here. And it's gonna do something like this. And then we can sort of maybe want to then make a tinier point right here, and it's gonna do something like this. And so there we have a little bit of a weird shape. Maybe you can adjust it a little bit. It doesn't need to look good for now. That's not really the idea for now, just to give you some options or ideas of options you can do with this program to then make liveries yourself and have some ideas of what shapes you want on the car. And yeah, let's then paint this and then sort of just paint the areas that we feel like it might need. And also maybe paint a little bit here. This being on the top actually looks pretty cool. It's a little bit of a 3D effect as well. And yeah, then if you want, you can also easily delete. This is color. I think it's better to delete this than. This is why you should want this to be on a different layer than the layer on the main color. And yeah, we can do something like this. Maybe you want to go to the layer on the bottom and also do the same kind of thing. And it's not doing it because it's deleting the white part. Yeah, I believe so. There you go. Make sure it's on the right layer every time, so we can do things properly without making any huge accidents, let's say. So yeah, we get something like this. Maybe not really the best of shapes, but doesn't really matter for now. And now let's say that I was happy with this and I would want to finish the livery. Then one thing I could do is to just merge all of these layers with the colors right here, and then like this. And then there we go. As you can see, those two layers with the colors, they did not have any like the blending mode was the normal one, and obviously you could not see, when painting you could not see the shading, but that doesn't really matter, because as soon as you blend all of the layers with the colors with this one that has the overlay mode, then we're gonna see all of the shading right here. So yeah, you get something like this in the end. And then of course you want to mirror this thing in the end if you want a mirrored livery. So once again, we can do the exact same thing. Ctrl V, Ctrl C, and yeah, let's just do this. You can go pull this all the way down, make sure it's on the bottom. And then once again, because since the way I selected this, it was a little bit up, to make sure it's gonna be totally mirrored, you have to make this like the how to explain this. Once again, like the rectangle that you're selecting at the beginning should be the exact same size as the rectangle that you then have at the bottom. And since this wasn't totally in the center, it's gonna have this little gap right here, which is not really issue. If you want, or if you feel like it, you can just sort of you can just adjust it right here. Maybe you can use the, I guess like this looks pretty cool. Then the black right here. This is also another cool tool. It's the color picker. It basically you click on a pixel and it copies the color of that pixel. Basically, that's what it does, and it's very useful when you want to copy your colors and keep consistent colors as well. And it's very cool, in my opinion, because of that. So yeah, you can do something like this. And there you go, we got the livery right here. It's not the best of ones, I guess pretty decent in the end, but I don't know, it's a little bit weird. But yeah, but now I'm going to show you different options that you can use with some of different tools. Let me see if I can actually use the history thing and maybe just go a little bit back. Yeah, there you go. This is what the history is for. If you want to go back, you can basically do it by click one of the uh, tools that you use in the past, and it goes back to all the way down. You don't need to click undo a lot of times. As you can see, by doing that, you're just doing it like one by one. So yeah, either way, let's take this up. So yeah, let's say you want to use some shapes in the cars, and that's something that this program has. You have some, let's say, preset shapes and that you might want to use. So let's then make something, I don't know, let's say you want to have a star. So let's stick here where it says where you have the shapes, and then usually what it has is the rectangle. The rectangle is often going to be just something like this, and yeah, that's obviously not what you want. But let's say you want to make a star, and the star, this is what you also can do with the shapes. You have the outline shape, or you can draw the entire thing, or which is what we're going to use for this case. You can draw the entire shape, but it's also going to have an outline, so you can have both things. And to control the size of the outline, then you go to the brush size and you control the size right here. And obviously, if the size is too big, then it's gonna end up occupying the entire size of the entire thing. But yeah, I want to do something like this. But yeah, I don't want to do a rectangle or a square. Let's then do a star that we have right here. It should look pretty cool. And yeah, I want to have a black star with some magenta as the outline. So let's create one star right here. We just pull it like this. We click on the left on the mouse, and let's also increase maybe the outline a little bit. And yeah, if here with the anti-alias rendering you have a star like this, but on the alias rendering we have something pixelated like this. But yeah, but for this I want a more smooth livery, so I want to have this sort of blurring thing. So yeah, to increase the size of the star and keep the proportions of the star, you need to press either shift or control. I believe both work. No, the control doesn't work, so we need to use the shift, and it's gonna keep the same proportion. And as you can see, every size of the star is the exact same. And yeah, and you have a little bit more control of things. But if you want to go crazy, you can do this without pressing the shift, of course. But yeah, also to rotate it, you can rotate it the way you want, like this. But if you want to rotate and have some predetermined angles or more conventional angles, like I don't know, 90 degrees, you want to rotate this like 90 degrees or 180 degrees, you can just press the shifts once again, and you have something like this. It's gonna limit like your options, and it's gonna have some more predetermined angles. And yeah, you get something like this. I want to do something, have something like this, and yeah, let's put this a bit more on the center so it's mirrored with both sides, and it's maybe something like this. Maybe let's increase the size. Maybe it's too much already. The free. Let's maybe make the star shorter. I'm gonna press the shift once again because I want to keep those same proportions. And let's see, with freeze, no, it never works with if the outline is that big. And let's do something like this. I believe it works well, because I think it's also cool that it paints the rear wing a little bit. And let's maybe increase the size. Maybe it looks something like this. Yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. So yeah, once again, at the moment, since it's the layer is on the normal mode, you're not going to see the shining for now, but we should see it in the end, so we don't need to worry about that for now. And you can see you can do something pretty cool with the shapes. And now let's say you want to go full crazy mode, or have some, I don't know, some crazy ideas. As you can see right now, every time you've been painting everything, you always have this sort of solid color. But that's not one thing, that you have more things right here that you want to paint. And so let's say you want to paint something like this, you can do it, just try painting. It sort of makes this type of thing, like it paints and it creates this type of shapes right here. But yeah, but if you want to have this and just have it on a specific place, then one thing you can do is to select this and then just select the pixels that you want. So let's make something like this. Maybe let's do like this. Alright, let's select this rectangle right here, and then let's go to the brush, but then let's see what we have here. That could be interesting. Let's try this one, why not? But then we can just paint the entire thing. I believe with the bucket we can already paint. Yeah, there we go. It paints the entire thing right here. And look at this, it looks maybe a little bit weird, not gonna lie. But this is just to give you an idea. Maybe let's try this something different. Didn't want to delete the rectangle. Oh no. Alright, there we go. Let's change this. Pretty sure there was one that had like some zigzags, and those zigzags were like more on the horizontal. Maybe not. Which is a little bit of a shame. Maybe. I'm a little bit undecided because I kind of would like to see this livery now being cool. Even though I was just improvising everything right now. Let's try this. And give us some. Yeah, it's not gonna look that great. Maybe let's just use these stripes right here. I think it should work well. Alright, then let's that's one thing we can do. We can paint it like this, and it's gonna have like this magenta and black thing. But if you just want to have one of the colors, then one thing you can do is to go to this tool right here and just select one of the layers, one of the pixels that it's transparent. As you can see, I'm selecting from this, so only these pixels are not transparent, so I can select pretty much everywhere and it's the same thing. And so there we go. And I want it, the only color I want is the black color, so I want this color right here. So there we go. Right, and you can use the paintbrush. And I wonder if I use the. I'm noticing that these lines are actually very tiny. Let me increase the. No, it doesn't. Okay. It kind of does. Okay, this is pretty weird. Oh yeah, because I wanted bigger lines. So there is, I believe there's larger. Yeah, wide. There we go. Alright, we got some cool lines right here. And now let's I don't know, let's say I want to do something cool with magenta as well. So let's just use the lines, because I'm pretty sure if I then use this, then I'm gonna change this one right here, then it's just gonna change the lines, so it doesn't work well. Let's see if it's actually the same happens if I just teleport. Now I'm actually just experimenting right here, so let's see. No, it's still the same, like the pixels are pretty much predetermined from the beginning, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well, I guess that's not that bad. But yeah, let's just use some let's do this in a different way. Then we can just use this tool right here, and now let's try to use this paint. Okay, this is painting in a very weird way, and as you can see, there's one big reason for why that's happening, and it's because of the I'm still using this thing right here, and if you want to use get back to the normal lines, then you use to put it on solid color back. So yeah, let's just do that, and let's paint it once again. Let's say solid color, and let's paint some lines here. Maybe I just want to have one size, and there you go. It's just painting around here. Maybe click shift to make sure it's a 90-degree angle, and yeah, we got something like this. Looks pretty cool actually. Let's try maybe do the same on the other side. Oh yeah, this looks now it's looking pretty cool, isn't it? We're getting somewhere, not gonna lie. And there we go, this is actually looking pretty cool, not gonna lie. So yeah, let's then try a different thing. Maybe, I don't know, since we are already doing this livery, I guess we might as well just finish it a little bit. And I don't know, maybe we can paint the front leg in black. Well, let's just do that. Let's select this tool, and let's see. Okay, it's I think right here. So we can copy the black color, and then let's just you know, select this entire thing around where the black wing is, and yeah, let's do something like this. And yeah, really sorry if this entire video is getting a little bit weird and maybe confusing. It's because I'm not really used to make tutorials, and yeah, I'm kind of struggling a little bit to have my thoughts like organized and all of that stuff. But either way, I think this could be pretty cool, and I hope I'm still giving you some good ideas. At least the part at the beginning, like with putting the different layers, and also using this mod instead of the other, like to have more smoother liveries, and you know, being able to paint on the car and apply always the shading and all of that stuff. And I think at least that if you have that idea for me, I think that's cool, and you already learn much more. And there you go, you can see it paint the entire thing because the tolerance is on 100, so we can just reduce it right here, and then just adjust a little bit with the paintbrush. And then there we go. I believe we paint the entire wing black, and now we can sort of finish this. Let's just take this layer, copy just half of it, go Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then do the mirroring thing. Once again, make sure that the size of the rectangle at the bottom is the exact same size as the rectangle that we have before. So there you go, it's totally mirrored properly. And now let's blend all of the layers in the end, so the shading finally gets applied. So here we go. We've got the livery right here, and yeah, that's basically it's in the end. This is how you can make liveries, just to give you a little bit of an idea. And yeah, that's basically it in the end. I hope you guys like it. So maybe there's some things we can do. It's to just blending all of the layers, and so in the end you can save it right here, then save it as a PNG image. That's very crucial, so the background is transparent, because I think if you save it as a JPG, it's gonna be like the background I think might end up being white. So either way, this was the video, this was a tutorial. I hope you guys like it and got some ideas. There's other things you might potentially do, like I don't know, go with play a little bit with the blending modes, or change some of the effects right here, and stuff like that. So other things you can experiment. It's just a matter of experiment and getting some experience and things like that. So, but yeah, this is just to give you a little bit of the basics and some ways of making deliveries a little bit more, more smooth as well. And yeah, I hope this was the video. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys got some ideas, and see you next time.